Welcome back. Britain's next Prime Minister has been named after a Conservative leadership campaign.
Liz Truss, 81,326. Therefore, I give notice that Liz Truss is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. Liz, come up on stage.
Liz Truss is replacing Boris Johnson as Conservative leader. The Foreign Secretary beat her rival, the former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak, by more than 80,000 votes. During her speech, she thanked Boris Johnson, praising him for his job during Brexit and the pandemic, adding she will govern Britain as a Conservative leader over the next 2 years.
Our beliefs in freedom, in the ability to control your own life, in low taxes, in personal responsibility. And I know that's why people voted for us in such numbers in 2019. And as your party leader, I intend to deliver what we promised those voters right across our great country.
We're joined now live from London by CTV's Danielle Hamamjian. Danielle, thanks for taking the time. I guess, first of all, how are Britons reacting to this news this morning?
Well, I mean, there's always a point in a campaign where things seem to just never end, and that certainly was the case in this leadership campaign. But finally, we have it. The fourth Prime Minister in 6 years, the third female Prime Minister in British history, Prime Minister Liz Truss. How are people feeling? I think the safest way to answer that question is not surprised. She's been ahead of in the polls for quite some time now. She won with 80,000 votes. Rishi Sunak came in with just over 60,000. So she won with 57% of the vote, not the margin she would have hoped for or expected. But she's always been quite popular with the Conservative base, not so much with her colleagues here in Parliament. But just to recap for people at home, this is not the country that elected Liz Truss. It is the Tory base, the members of the Conservative Party. And she has got a lot to tackle. In terms of how are people feeling, I would say not really thrilled by the options that they were given, but they were two very different candidates. But like I said, she was always a favorite among the Conservative base, and the polls were really right all along, except for the margin that she hoped had been bigger. But in the end, 57% of the vote, and she is tomorrow formally Prime Minister Liz Truss.
And let's talk about the first orders of business for the incoming PM. We know that there's an energy crisis really gripping the UK right now. Is that the biggest issue that she's going to have to tackle right off the bat, or
Absolutely.
Is there more than one?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. The home bills, energy bills. I mean, by October, we will see an 80% an annual increase in home energy bills. That's like a separate mortgage. For many, that will mean a difference between a hot meal or a cold meal. In some cases, that will mean no meal at all because people would rather heat their homes. It is, that is all people are talking about. Now, she has said within the first week she will come up with a plan. The speculation is that she'll come up with this sort of pandemic-style bailout package, and she will freeze home energy bills, but we still have yet to see what that plan is. Certainly we'll find out very soon, but there will be no honeymoon period for Prime Minister Truss. This is, without a doubt, as you mentioned, the biggest issue that is all people are talking about here.
Okay. CTV's Danielle Hamamjian, thank you.